What's going on, guys? Me, Dave, here, back for another shave, and today is going to be the full review of the new, I guess somewhat new, well, it is new, but the design, we'll get into that. But today, bam, today I'm going to be using the King C Gillette safety razor, the safety razor that has been sold, I believe, exclusively through Walgreens. First and foremost, I think it's a step in the right direction. To have a iconic name like Gillette in stores where everybody can see and have a safety razor by them, it definitely helps the exposure of traditional wet shaving. The design, we'll just get straight into it. I'm not going to do a lot of fluff, but if you can see the geometry of the head, it looks very similar to the Edwin Jagger DE89s. The only difference, I believe, is they have slimmed down a little area right here. I believe on some of the DE89s, it has a little, this center portion of the base plate comes out maybe about here, a little bit more level. They probably did that possibly so they can say that they didn't exactly copy that head design, but we already know Pakistan, China, they're all producing the DA89 heads. All the random, generic, non-brand name heads that we see are going to be based off of that. It just is what it is. And that right there with this razor is a missed opportunity. Gillette has so many cool designs that are in their history. For them to go with a generic head design is a bit disappointing. It absolutely is. It doesn't mean that this razor isn't important to the growth and the exposure of wet shaving. And I think that's something that we kind of lose focus on. We're so up in arms and pissed off that, oh, they're using that bullshit head, this and that. But you forget, we have a dying, hold on, I got a little something. No, sorry, had a little something. No, I don't want the autofocus. Don't take that off. Okay, cool. Took off the autofocus. We have a dying hobby, man. There's not a lot of us. Safety razors a little bit more healthy, but in terms of like straight razor shaving, it's dying out. So any help that we could get from a large company like Gillette, I'm all for it. Yes, it is disappointing that they didn't use one of their own heads. I do understand the economics behind it. They didn't keep all the tools that they used to have in order to make the old heads. But they're a mega star company. They're one of the mega powers in the industry. Could they afford it to get some machines in to do it? They absolutely could. Is there much of an excuse? No. Again, I understand the economic ramifications of purchasing all that shit, but you are not in danger of going bankrupt. You sell so much shit at all times. You could have did it. They didn't. But so this is what I have in order to review. But before I get into the shave and all that good stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a few still shots that I did of the razor before the shave. And there we go. So you guys got to see a little bit of up and close. Again, I don't have professional gear to take the picture, so I do the best I can. So hopefully you got at least a good idea of what's going on here with that. This head, it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. I like a handle that is flat so that I could actually stand, if I want to, even just for a little bit, rest it on the butt of the handle onto the sink. I can, but this doesn't give me that option. Has a very rounded off, smooth bottom. Not a huge fan of that. The knurling is good enough. The issue is that the knurling doesn't run too far down the handle. So when wet, that can be a potential problem. We shall see, of course, because this is going to get wet. It does have a polish, so that polish may help with the grip a bit. Who knows? So, and then with the razor, I am going to be using the blades that come with it. The King C Gillette razor blades. Doesn't specify what they're probably a brand that we already know, probably with just some new etching, because I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this. The lighting will make it difficult, but we'll see. Oh yeah, you can see it. It has the King C Gillette logo with fine grooming since 1901. So a cool little engraving on it. Nothing special, nothing outrageous, whatever. We're gonna go and throw this into the razor. And we're gonna get this shave going. The threading, the fit, the finish is pretty standard with a DA9, a Mula, or even the McCurr style fit and finish. It's a zinc alloy razor with the chrome plating. So today, since I'm going to be using such a old school company, I went with some old school style products. Not a big deal, not the focus of the shave, but I just feel like using tobacco. I've seen a lot of people using it in their oldie but goodie shaves. So I'm going to go ahead and use tobacco with that. And then I went a little bit old school. Not with this particular brand, but I went with the old school bore. Don't have much experience anymore with bores. I stopped using bores after the first couple years. I still have some. I still keep some with me. But they just... I'm sorry. If your favorite knots are bore, that's fine. You know, you get your preferences. But for people to say that they gave a superior lather, I'm sorry, you're just lying to us or you're lying to yourself. Lather has a tendency to die out a little bit quicker in bore knots. The lather stability for most soaps isn't what it is with the bore, or I mean with the Badger or synthetic. It's just simply I'll call bullshit if you say bore is giving the superior lather. Now, if you tell me you prefer the face feel, I'm great. If you tell me you prefer the price, fantastic. That's all stuff that I could get on board with, and I believe you. But if you're going to tell me that this gives the best performance, you're full of shit. But I've had it. This particular bore is supposed to be super premium. It's from Antica Barbaria Cola. Very high-end, expensive shaving soap. They call it a cream, but again, it's more like that crope. It's definitely not as soft as a cream, but it is softer than probably most soft soaps that we have in the industry. So it's in a weird middle. That soap performs fantastic. So I'm loading really heavy. I really want to make sure that this has the best chance to make it through all the shaves. If I have to revisit the puck, it's really not a big deal. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some moisture to the face. Use some of this proto lather. Kind of kick stuff in, kick stuff up. And we'll get right into it. Oh, and before I get into the face lather, this razor was purchased and sent in for review by one of the big homies out in Arizona, Robert Camara. Robert, I appreciate your constant support. I appreciate your investment in me. I appreciate you being a part of the growth and the continuation of my channel, man. Got much love for you. This razor aside, fuck the razor, I got mad love for you, bro. Robert's one of the dudes that probably checks in with me the most in the community. He's just always kind of looking out for me, seeing how I'm doing, make sure my well-being is straight. And we talk all the time. So thank you, Robert, just for everything, bro. Huh. So performance in shave with tobacco is during the shave. It's fantastic. It goes just about as good as any other soap. Where something where I think tobacco kind of falls short, especially with the new offerings out on the market, is going to be the post shave feel. Residual slickness too, not as good. But you see, nice dense lather. We get excited about the dense lathers of today's artisan soaps, which I love the artisan soaps, obviously, but then we also have a tendency to act as if old products didn't perform super well. Now, the artisan products now bring in superior post-shave, superior residual slickness, but in terms of one of those low volume, dense lathers, tobacco, which is fucking really, really old. Where's that? Does it say on here when it started? Since 1959. So 1959, tobacco brought out a product that gave us dense, creamy lathers, and we still act as if the modern artisan soaps, this is the first we've ever seen of it. This is not a big Santa Claus beard. This is dense. This is beauty right here. again, it does lack in those other things like, again, residual slickness and post shave, but in shave it's fantastic. Wet the blade up a little bit. The style that I hold my razors, I always rest my pinky right under the bottom of this. With this rounded off, it makes like it just kind of slips past it. Not a fan of that at all. Not a fan at all. Let's check it out. Okay, so that's not bad. It's a mild shave, but I will tell you, I get more blade feel from this than like a Merkur 34C. So that's nice. Definitely not a rough feel at all. The blade feels smooth. Robert, I believe in a conversation we were having a couple nights ago, he was telling me that he believes that these razor blades are the Gillette Silver Blues, which how smooth they are and how well that first pass went, he might be right. Trimming up the sideburns, letting my hair grow. I'm gonna let my hair grow until I can find a goddamn job. Already tried applying some places. Super smooth. Soap is perfectly hydrated. Just real nice. Shit. I get so busy using new products all the time for the sake of the channel, and people will comment, "Oh, just use what you have, David. Just you know, we still watch." Not necessarily. If when I use old products and if I do a shave just to talk, I get like about 100 viewers, about 100 views, period. So clearly the majority of people don't like seeing products reused. It just is what it is. I definitely don't mind reusing products. If it stays in my den, it's because I enjoy it. So soaps that I keep for myself that I really enjoy, those stay on the top shelf over here. It's probably about 30 soaps or so. Everything else goes into a pile for giveaways to family, friends, starter kits, all that good stuff. I got a bunch of soaps in those piles. Probably be whittled down quite a bit, but since I haven't been able to practice because of the whole pandemic stuff, so it's starting to add up a little bit more than I'm accustomed to. So, flick and pass. So I could already tell that the third pass on this, I think, is going to be a big drop off for the lather. This one still looks good, but it's looking kind of borderline. You could kind of see through the lather quite a bit more than the first pass, so it's thinned out quite a bit. Which again, that's from my experience. And before you say I don't know how to use Boar, I used Boar exclusively for the first 2 years that I wet shaved. That's what I started with. And this is the kind of result that I was getting pretty standard back then. Now again, I know I'm out of practice, but loading heavy on the puck will kind of solve all your problems in terms of that. A little bit more water in here. Super soft bristles. This is in terms of face feel, this may be the most impressive Boar I've ever used. I don't like any type of prickliness, scratchiness, none of that. This one was soaked for a solid 5 to 6 minutes. That's my preference in terms of, because some people say, oh, only soak Boar for a couple minutes so they're not so floppy. This one still has plenty of backbone, has absolutely no scratch. There's no prickliness to that, not at all. So it is a great knot. Now, is it really some super premium part of the Boar, or are they that selective? Possibly. It could be that's true, or they just treated the hair somehow. I will tell you that the hair on this, there's no dyeing on it like those ones that are meant to be looking like badger, but they're incredibly light colored bristles. I'll tell you, it's not very wet, but the handle does bead the water real nicely, and it's grippy, so it's not slipping from my hand at all. Now, if you are, lost a hair. That's actually the first hair in about 3 uses on that. Still smooth, blades holding up real nice. And yeah, look at it. Not trying extra hard, no slippage, nothing. No adjustment, and it's still in hand pretty good. So I wouldn't recommend it for a shower shaver. I think if this one was constantly and consistently wet, you may have a problem. But again, the polish on the chrome is causing the water to bead off rather quickly. So that's nice. If I had a choice though, I would have had some knurling that went all the way down, and then the bottom, the butt of the razor would be flattened out. I think they try to be trendy and fancy looking, as opposed to sticking to a design that just was a little bit more functional. Especially if you're not going to sell this razor with a stand, that part doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't, because it just makes it, for everything you have to have it laid down, flattened out, everything. If this came with the stand, even if it was a cheap plastic one, that would make a little bit more sense to me, because now you don't have to worry about this being rounded and goofy. So second pass. Hopefully with the success of this razor, assuming that it's a success, because I know pretty much everybody's been going out to try to find one and get these. So I know units are moving. Hopefully Gillette will be interested in investing more money into this type. Oh, something that I've been seeing, and I think it was Corey from Shaving with Chief, possibly, or could have been DK, can't remember, but they had a brush that was extremely gel tipped, and in order for the gels not to form too heavily, so that it'll help with soaking up the soap a little better, they just barely dip the brush in water. I would highly advise against that. Natural hair will be prone to breaking if it's not properly soaked. So if you don't care if your brush doesn't last very long, I guess fine. I guess it doesn't matter. But if you would like some longevity in that knot, don't do that. Soak your brushes. You don't want to load up or put pressure on dry hairs, because they will break. They're going to be much more prone to break. Now, a lot of knots are dense nowadays, and that'll help with that, but still, I don't know if you want to be snapping your hairs, all that. If you end up breaking a lot of hairs, it will change the feel of the brush, because now you're going to have a lot of shorter hairs in there. They could be a little prickly, spiny, and you're not getting, the money maker of those brushes are the nice tips. Whether they're gelled or not, that's where the best face feel is at. I'll tell you, this razor is smooth. Very, very smooth. Nice weight to it, the kind of weight you would expect from a zinc alloy razor. Bam, look at that. Super smooth. Cool. So that's the end of the third pass. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off. I'm gonna pause it, and then we'll go ahead and get into our final thoughts. All right, I'm back. I am all completely dried off here. Again, where the back falls short is gonna be that post shave. I have that real sticky, squeaky clean feeling on it, which will be fine. I'll throw on an aftershave after the fact. But we'll get into it. Let me dry this off a little bit, make it look a little pretty. So, there we are. The King C Gillette. a standard, real easy to make, real easy to produce, no frills, just kind of basic DE razor. One thing I do like about this that I did notice, it is a touch, ever so much, little bit more blade feel than a Merkur 34C. Very, very light, but it is noticeable enough for myself. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side shave with the 34C or the 34G I have back here somewhere. Don't really use it much. Don't break out because I don't enjoy that razor. But this one has enough blade feel for me to actually enjoy the head. Not a big fan of the handle. I'm not thrilled by it. I need a flat bottom. I do have some extra handles laying around that I'll probably switch it to, but this is actually a razor that can get some use in the den. And if it has a little bit better grip with one of those other handles, this is a razor that I do feel that Rosie would even like to, because it is mild enough to be gentle in all the woman areas. But it gets the job done. It's efficient. Got BBS, so that's pretty much all you could ask. Again, if you're one of those guys that bitches and moans because it is a basic ass China head, sorry, allegedly is made in Germany, which I believe them, but again, it's still that basic run-of-the-mill design. You know, get over yourselves. This is, without a doubt, a step in the right direction. Gillette, please, if you hear any fucking random ass person that works anywhere in Gillette happens to see this, please invest more time and resources into the DE market, because we will support the hobbyists, and even the random fucking shopper will support your products because you are an iconic brand. You have a responsibility to wet shaving, to help it grow, nurture it. We will support you, but you guys just got to give us a little something. Because if you continue to just produce this plain ass head, it's a design of somebody else. Again, you're not fooling nobody. This is a basic run-of-the-mill design with maybe a slight adjustment, because again, I do feel that this is a touch more aggressive than like a Merkur or a DE89. And again, not much more aggressive, but in terms of the blade feel, I feel the blade a bit more than I do in those razors. But we will support you, so please support us. Show us a little bit of credit and respect, and give us something unique, or revamp an old design. Spend some fucking money, you cheap bastards. Because I know people are still shaving even though it's quarantine. Don't fucking make any excuses. So, I appreciate you guys. Just once again, I'll run through the other gear we used. Antica Barbaria Cola. Badger brushes. Some premium offering shit. It feels fantastic. Whether it's the best born out on the market, I don't know. But it is damn good. You know, again, I kept it, so it's good enough. It's definitely good, and I don't like boar. I don't. It's just not my preference, but I do like this one enough to keep it in the den. So there we are, and of course tobacco. So thank you guys for joining me. If you've reached this point in the video, you know how much I appreciate you guys. Make sure you enjoy this Memorial Day. Is it Memorial Day or Labor Day? I always forget. It's one or the other. So whatever this holiday on a Monday is, enjoy it. Enjoy your time with the family. A lot of places are open here in California. A lot of the restrictions were lifted starting this weekend. We shall see what happens after this point, but you know, just take care of one another. So be safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you on the next shave.